Welcome. Today we're going to be focusing on solving systems of equations using elimination, and we're going to focus on the adding and subtracting aspect of it. We're going to show mastery by scoring at least an 80% on our exit ticket in class tomorrow. Hopefully you have the note sheet in front of you. If you don't, make sure you have a separate sheet of paper. You can take your notes there and we can give you a fresh one tomorrow. Now, when we talk about elimination, we need to think about what the word eliminate means. Eliminate means to get rid of. So when we are solving linear equations using elimination, we need to get rid of something. Now, we can't just cross anything out. We need to make sure it makes sense. In order to do elimination, step 1, we need to make sure each equation is in standard form. ax plus by equals c. Step 2 is we're going to add or subtract the equations to eliminate one of the variables. Then we're going to solve it and we're going to substitute it back in. Now, here's where we need to make sure it makes sense. If we look at the I do equation, I have x and x. Well, if I add x and x, I get 2x, so that doesn't eliminate. But if I look at my y's, I have a negative y and I have a positive y. Well, those are opposites, and negative y plus y is equal to 0. So those are now what is eliminating. They're going to 0. So from here, I'm going to follow in order what's there. Well, x plus x gives me 2x, and 1 plus 3 gives me 4. I'm going to solve my equation for x by dividing by 2 on both sides, and I'm going to get x is equal to 2. Now, just like when we use substitution, we're going to go back to one of our equations. It doesn't matter which equation you use. I'm going to use the second one because it looks easier with adding. X plus y equals 3. Well, I know x is 2, so 2 plus y has to equal 3. If I subtract 2 on both sides, I'm left with y equals 1, leaving my answer as a positive 2, positive 1. If we look at example 2, again, we want to eliminate. They're both in standard form. If I look at my x's, I have a 3x and I have a 2x. Well, 3x and 2x don't eliminate each other. But if I look at my y's, I have a negative y and a positive y. So again, in this example, negative y and positive y make 0, so they're what's going to eliminate. I'm going to add these sides together. 3x plus 2x equals 5x, and 26 plus 24 is equal to 50. Well, now, if I solve for x, I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides, and I'm going to get x is equal to 10. Now we need to find y, and again, it doesn't matter which equation you use. I'm going to use the second one. 2x plus y equals 24. Well, I know x is 10, so 2 times 10 plus y equals 24. 2 times 10 gives me my 20. From here, I'm going to use inverse operations, subtract 20 on both sides, and I'm left with y is equal to 4. That means my coordinate point is going to be 10, 4 for my final solution. Please make sure all of your answers are written as a coordinate pair. If you just leave it x is 10, y is 4, you need to make sure which one comes first. And I know it almost seems trivial, you've been doing this for a while, but make sure you do know how to write it, because your answers on your test, on your SOL, on quizzes, they need to be in coordinate form. So if you just leave it as x or y equals, sometimes you're going to make that mistake. So we want to make sure we get in that positive habit. Now, if we look at example 3, both my equations are in standard form. Well, if I look at my x's, I have 10x and I have negative 10x. Those are opposites of each other, so those are actually going to be what cancels this time. I can't cancel my y's, so now I'm going to take negative 15 plus 4y, and I'm going to get negative 11y. I'm going to take 105 minus 50 and get 55. Make sure to use the signs that are in the problem. If it's a negative, keep it negative. In this case, it was negative 50, so I'm going to do 105 minus 50. You could also say 105 plus negative 50. It will still give you the same answer. From here, I'm going to divide both sides by negative 11, and I'm going to be left with y equals negative 5. From here, we need to find x. Pick an equation. So if I have 10x minus 15y equals 105, well, 10x minus 15, y is negative 5, equals 105. If I multiply, that gives me 10x plus 75 equals 105. I'm going to subtract 75 on both sides. I'm left with 10x equals 30. Divide both sides by 10 and you get x is equal to 3. So in this case, my final answer is 3, negative 5. If we look at example 4, both my equations are already in standard form. So now we want to look and see what we can eliminate. Well, 2x and negative 2x are opposites, so they will cancel. But also in this case, positive 4 and negative 4 are opposites, so they're going to cancel. Well, if I cancel my x's and I cancel my y's, that means there's nothing left on my left side of my equation. So I'm going to put a 0. There is nothing left. On the right side, I'm going to add 0 minus 6 or 0 plus negative 6. We're left with negative 6. If we look, 0 does not equal negative 6. So in this case, there is no solution to my system of equations. Bring your notes and bring any questions you may have to class tomorrow, and I look forward to seeing you then.